with another episode of the Drone Cleaning Podcast. I'm your host, Ric McCluskey, and this is Jarod Dillon. Jarod, it has been, how long now?
Probably over a month.
I'm going to say, just so it feels better that we didn't leave everybody hanging, that we're going to count those first six episodes as season 1.
Yeah, season 1. There you go.
So that's season 1. And I guess that makes today the season 2 premiere. That you guys wanted this back so much,
so badly.
We have to give the people what they want. So, how's the season been treating us so far? It does seem like things have been a little bit slower from a lot of the large commercial clients, a lot of wait and see, which you're kind of accustomed to at the beginning of the year. Every year I feel like I'm like, all right, let's get going. Let's get going. This year it does seem like it kind of backed up a little bit and there's business getting ready to go, but I'm afraid it's going to all pop at once, which is now how things are seeming that they're going to work themselves out.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. The only thing we can do is stay hydrated, eat well, and say our prayers at night and get out and try to make a living. And not let diesel prices kill us.
Yeah, I think that they might succeed.
It's getting pretty close. All right, we'll start the first episode of season 2. I just came up with that as I clicked play. We're now season 2.
Season 2, I like it. Yeah, we'll roll with it.
It'll go. All right, so we'll start with a little bit of news and notes and things affecting either the drone world, drone cleaning world, or exterior cleaning world. So first little clip that I saw, FAA proposes new drone restrictions near critical infrastructure. So yet again, anybody listening, y'all know you know what we do. If you read these things different, you know different information than I do, feel free to reach out and correct us. But this is how I interpreted it. As of today, you can have let's say a manufacturing facility, and let's say that they operate in a rural area without a real controlled airspace, which you being not just a drone pilot, but a airplane in the sky pilot, you know this better than anybody. That facility, that rural facility without an airspace, I could take a drone, certainly not one of our cleaning drones, but like a little DJI, and I could fly over it and pretty much see what I want to see.
Right.
What this proposed regulation would say is, how I'm interpreting it, 2 things. Number 1, the facility can now petition the FAA to grant them a restrictive airspace.
Right.
Which seems fair. The only way they can do that is the only way they can justify it, and the FAA will actually consider it, is if they are somehow considered critical to national infrastructure, security, whatever. I mean, we clean a facility that kind of fits this to the T, and I won't say who they are, but a rural facility, national defense contractor, I could understand where they're coming from with this. The other thing that this regulation would do, and while the first part of it seems a little restrictive on us, I think the second part of it is giving us that ability to still be able to work. And that is, it offers drone pilots the ability to get that airspace again. So it would essentially be like you do if you're operating in a restricted airspace. Except this, from what I understood, took it a step further, that if it's in an area where you're frequently going to be working, that you don't have to go do it every single time you want to fly. But there is a path to getting that to where, okay, you're authorized, because you went through this process. So we're going to give your, pilot's license or your platforms, they're going to have your tail ID number if you got your Part 107.
Yeah.
They're going to allow you to be able to fly more frequently without having to get, and then of course you're going to have to obey the rules of the airspace.
Right.
So something different. I think the biggest thing pertaining to us that I get from this is, don't let something sneak up on you. If you may not be cleaning the secure facility, But let's say it's in an industrial park and you're cleaning the facility next to it.
Right.
I doubt they're going to cut that airspace that cleanly.
No, never.
So you may want to double check if you're taking, if you're just thinking to yourself, oh, I'm good out there because it's in the middle of nowhere, I can go fly that and be fine. Well, the building you're cleaning may be fine.
Yeah.
But sharing the same parking lot may be a facility that, unbeknownst to you, they have now petitioned the government and been granted a restrictive airspace, which is just going to open a box of worms. Because if those people went and done that, you can rest assured that if they see you flying,
absolutely,
they're probably going to go say something to you. And I would venture to say they're going to call their local FAA rep.
Absolutely.
So
and
just
busting airspaces, even in the pilot world, like
I would say more so in the pilot world.
More so, yeah. It is not. It is very, 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 very frowned upon.
It's probably not something you want to have a conversation with the FAA about.
Yeah, you never. Yeah, pilot suspension is
and if they're going to do that to y'all, they're definitely going to do it to
absolutely
little old drone cleaning company.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just pay attention to this regulation going forward.
Yeah, stay on top of your maps.
And even if you can't stay up to date on this particular regulation, just continue to do what you should be doing anyhow, and that's checking your airspace no matter where that job is at. Check your airspace. Request.
It takes 20 seconds.
It doesn't take long to check
make sure you're not
airspace.
in registered airspace. Yeah.
So moving on to the next piece of news, in which this will segue into what we're going to talk about on the show today. You see, we both went hard copy. We're not going to be caught with our pants down again. We're
like my grandpa. I don't think anything's on his computer. It's all paper.
We lose our show notes halfway through the show. Number 2, OSHA and NIOSH fall prevention stand down just happened May 4th through the 8th. So this is the 13th annual national initiative by the National Safety Stand Down to prevent falls in construction. What a mouthful.
It is.
Woo! It took place May 4th through the 8th. Prevention language includes an important point. Eliminating work at height is the most effective strategy when possible. So when I was reading up on this, not much has changed. The leading cause of death and injury in the workspace.
Absolutely.
Falling from heights. And it's so much, I won't say so bad, but I guess that statistic does make it bad. It's something that OSHA and NIOSH pay so much attention to. They found it necessary 13 years ago to have a week where it is a national awareness.
Yeah.
And they have continued to do so for 13 straight years. I don't think it's going away. So if it's on the top of OSHA's mind and NIOSH's mind, I would say it's on the top of many of our customers' minds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our facility managers and our, commercial property owners. This is something that they consider. However, kind of moving into the theme of the show, it's something that I was thinking about. I had to drive down to Gloucester, Mississippi yesterday to look at a job. Drove by the tornado zone too.
Yeah. How you get there is you go to nowhere and you hang a left.
Take a left.
Yep. And how to get you there.
You got to go deeper into nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you got to get to that point of nowhere that nobody knows where that part of nowhere is.
Even your map. Yeah.
You're there.
Yeah.
So on the way there, just thinking, because my mind's always vibrating. And I started thinking about you and I just because we're going to do a show today. And we've seen, we try to cater this show to a couple different demographics. Number one, drone pilots in general. But when you cut those in two, you got your experienced guys, and they may not be as interested in hearing what we say because they're like, hey, I've done it longer than this guy, and that's fine. I think I'm gonna listen to anybody. If I can get a pointer or a tip, I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then you got the guys that just came into the business and they're just thirsty for whatever piece of knowledge they can get.
Yes, sir.
Then you get the guys that are thinking about coming in. And I see that we, especially me, I try to cater the show to those last two. Because I know when I came in the business, there was nothing.
No.
And I mean, this was only 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. There was nothing when you try to look for help. You could talk to the manufacturer.
Yeah.
But they're busy manufacturing and doing their thing.
And trying to figure out how to make the drone not fall out of the air.
So, yeah, I see that's what we're doing. And I was thinking back to lessons learned, and I had, in the oil and gas world, that's where we cut our teeth. And, one of the guys that got me in there, he told me when I sent my first little sales slick that he was going to hand out. He was like, man, you didn't put safety on there, really. And I was like, I did put safety on there. He was like, yeah, but it's like a cliff note to a sub paragraph. And I said, okay. I mean, I thought that was good enough. He's like, no, it needs to be in big, bold letters. That kind of opened my eyes to the fact that when we first get in this, the drone is the big, cool thing.
Yeah.
And all we want to talk about is what the drone can do. And, we can clean this fast and all that. Where at the end of the day, the customers you really want, those high value customers, they want to know that you're covering a pain point for them.
Yeah.
So started changing that language a little bit. And on the drive yesterday, I was like, I have thought this, but I don't think in application, I have went it as far as I need to on the fact that I don't think just saying safety is cutting it. And I think this is something you guys need to understand, or the older guys that hear this and go, oh, maybe I'm not doing that. So just looking at, I try to put some of this down in thought, and, that sometimes can be a little hard for me to do. How many vendors do you think when they go to a facility manager, they talk about, yeah, we're safe, safety first?
Probably every one of them.
You hear that buzz line a lot. And if you don't hear it, the facility manager's going to say, hey, we have these safety protocols that we got to go through. I've even seen them go as far as you got to sit through like a 30-minute safety bill. So just saying safety, and even if you say it a lot, and even if you say it in big, bold letters, in my mind, I don't know if that moves the needle enough to really set you apart. I feel like I'm still like, look at the drone.
Yeah.
Look at what the drone can do. Oh yeah, it's safe. Yeah, we're going to get guys off of lifts. And I think we need to be much more deliberate. So I see the good, better, best. And I want us to listen to these real quick. So kind of where I was in the beginning, and I think a lot of the new guys are here, we use drones so it's safer. That's what we tell facility guys. And heck, I think I even do that sometimes now. Still. Better, the approach can reduce lift exposure, reduce blocked access, reduce work at height time, and reduce disruption around tenants or employees. Now, that sounds like something that'd probably be in print.
Yeah. You probably wouldn't say that in conversation.
No, but still, it's just something about it. I don't know. What do you get from it when you hear that?
I mean, what I'm understanding is that you sound fancy.
Mm-hmm. It's very legalistic.
It's very legalistic, but you might not be acting fancy.
And in a way, see if you can see what I'm saying. It almost sounds salesy.
Yeah, it does.
Just like you're selling safety.
It smells. It sounds political.
Sure, it sounds like you're covering your own butt. Absolutely. When it comes to OSHA.
It does.
All right, now this is the one I was looking at. That it's not just in what you say. It's kind of painting this picture, and this is one I really like. Here's our site plan. This is where people will be. This is where equipment will be. How we control the spray zone, how we handle access, and what gets documented before and after the job.
Yeah.
This seems so much more deliberate.
Absolutely.
And also,
Because it includes pointing, it includes showing. You're not just telling them, you're showing them.
Exactly.
This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. This is how we're doing it better.
Exactly.
And we're going to document it so we can prove our point to you further.
So we're taking what we want to do with the drone.
Yeah.
Which is, I want to show you. Let me show you how cool this is. And we're really pointing it to the star of the show.
Yeah.
Which is safety.
Yeah. There's boots on the ground. There's no one suspended in air.
Yes. Not only that, we're going to take it this step further. And I was talking to you before the show that, you know, I pride myself on safety, but I as I'm thinking about this on that drive, you know, 2 hours yesterday there and 2 hours back, start thinking of where we're falling short and things that we need to implement. And
because it's a struggle when you show up to a job, especially when you're trying to knock it something out, and you're like, listen, we're just on average, we're an hour to 2 hours away from home, a majority of our job sites.
Yes.
And we get there, we're going to try and knock this out in the day. We want to be home for dinner.
And we're usually making that drive at what time during the day?
Yeah, 5 a.m, you know?
Yeah.
5, yeah, it's early. We're, you know, we're a muffin and a cup of coffee deep. We don't want to roll out half a roll of caution tape and 18 traffic cones.
Yes, you're right. And I think the onus is on, you know, the owner of the company and the leaders in the company for us to figure out ways that, number one, we accomplish this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do these things. Number two, what are the easiest ways to do that?
Right.
Is it systems? Is it innovation? What are the ways that we can cover all the bases from a safety standpoint, but also add a little, and I hate to say this, a little extra flair?
Yeah.
Because once again, pointing back to, you're selling the safety component. The safety program and the drone need to be one.
Yeah.
So
I say we get a speaker and set it on top of the truck, and anytime it senses movement, it just move. Yeah.
Stop. I think you're right.
That would be funny.
I think that's what we'll do.
That would be funny.
So I think moving forward for us, you know, is producing that diagram. And, you know, it may sound silly, but I've even thought of, if there's a way you're taking a Google Map image.
Yeah.
And you're showing when we're here, this is where everything's going to be taped off. But I need this to be, anybody on this side of the building to be cognizant of overspray.
Yeah.
And that hit me. We put, and a lot of times we even put it where we think there's going to be overspray. But could we go a step further and, you know, even have signs, because we have wind shifts. Yeah. And where we are, for some reason, you know, like Ocean Springs is a great example. It'd be perfectly calm. And all of a sudden, 30-mile-an-hour winds.
You got a gust that hits you. It's literally 30-mile-an-hour, and it'll change. And that's just.
And you will see overspray wrap around a building.
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen it 100 times. And you think that you've got everything covered. But another thing, parking lots.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we feel like, oh, we're 100 feet away from a parking lot, we're good. You're not seeing any overspray. You've been cleaning for 4 hours, you don't see overspray. But then one of those rogue winds come.
Yeah.
And
you just coated 20 cars.
Yeah.
You can burn, if you're spraying a hot mix, you can burn through clear coat in a heartbeat.
But most importantly, this isn't about that rare occurrence in which it happens.
Yeah.
This is about the caution and cover it CYA yourself, but also the appearance.
Yeah.
That, okay, this is a 1 in a million chance of happening, that I'm going to be this far away from the parking lot and get any overspray.
But if it happens.
But if it does happen, would it not be nice to have a larger sign where maybe where the parking lot, you know, you got a big parking lot, all comes to 3 or 4 doors at the front of the building, where some place out where you feel like people are starting to come together, where you say, the sign says something about overspray in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Please be aware. It just covers your own.
Yeah. Cause it's, there's a lot of safety deals that it comes with the drone. Yes, it's safer, but yeah, that is something that you're going to deal with. That is a sacrifice you make with the drone and spraying that high. You're going to have overspray. If you were up there on a lift, you would have just the same amount of overspray. If you're
that's
13 stories on a lift, you're still going to have overspray.
That's what I was about to say. A lot of the things we're saying, I think this
applicable.
Translates into the non-drone world.
Absolutely.
All of this. And I think it's going to make you look better in the non-drone world. But I think that you hurt yourself in the drone world if you're hanging the ability to get the job and also really hanging the entire safety component in its entirety on the drone.
Yeah.
There needs to be a system built around the drone, and none of this is going to hurt you. No. All of this is going to help you.
Yeah.
It's going to take care of headaches.
Yeah. It's not going to hurt you. It is going to cost you a little bit of time, but
and a little bit of money. But heck, all the stuff that I'm looking at, like I told you, we had ordered some things. I ordered some things last night.
Some signs, stickers. It's not that expensive in the long
You can
run.
go to Amazon and buy this stuff customized for next to nothing.
Yeah.
That sounds like something, maybe a good affiliate program.
Yeah. Right. Team of affiliate.
I think we're going to put that on there. But, at the end of the day, these are things that it's going to help on the safety component, but you're going to be surprised that it's going to help you on your sales. And I'm just convinced of that.
That's what facility managers. That's what they want.
Yeah,
they want the safest company, maybe not the most efficient company.
Yeah, they and here's another note that I made. Then you got to start diving into the two customer avatars, or the two that come to my mind within the large commercial space. You got facility managers.
Mm-hmm.
These cats are most of the time they're risk minimizers.
Absolutely.
They do not want to have an accident.
Yeah, because then it shows on them really badly.
Right. Safety is going to play with them hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you got to prove it. They don't want to see you acting like a knucklehead out there, and all you're doing is just throwing out some caution tape.
Yeah,
which we're guilty of. I'm 100% guilty of it. Property managers, they're looking at protecting their reputation, the tenant experience, and the owner confidence.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I think, yes, the safety element is just as important in my mind. However, now you have other things you have to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're working among populace. Okay, go back to the facility manager. His workers at least have some acknowledgement of how to work around things.
Yeah.
They have some awareness.
Sure.
The soccer mom that's carrying 3 kids around in an office building that she's having to go visit someone in, that awareness isn't there.
Yeah.
And now you have to figure out how to make her aware even more.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that,
gonna make her a blonde if you don't.
That's right. Not only that, now you probably have more exit points.
Mm-hmm.
The facility guy can tell his employees where to go.
Yeah.
You're going to go through this door and you're going to exit through this door, even though it makes you have to walk 100 yards more from the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because he don't care. He's in charge. A property manager, not so much. If there's going to be a burden to be had when it comes to foot traffic diversion, that burden is not going to be borne by the customer.
No.
Or by the customer's customers.
Right.
It's going to be done by you.
Yeah.
And
ask us how we know.
Yeah.
They do not care about your caution tape.
And in worst case scenario, and I say that because I like to be home at night.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you're going to have to change your work schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to do it when people aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, that means weekends or that means nights. I don't mind weekends so much. It's just nights.
I don't mind nights. We can strap a Q-beam to the drone.
Yeah.
Big old spotlight.
I think it's against customer policy for you to have a Q-beam. or company policy. I'm sorry for you to have a QB.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it would definitely be against the customer's policy.
Yeah. I would just shine in the windows at night, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you like those four-legged things a little bit too much. It'd be too tempting for you. All right. Just a key line, understand that these customers are not just buying a clean building. Let's be honest with ourselves. People were cleaning buildings before the drone came along. And if the drones disappeared tomorrow, people will still figure out a way to clean a building.
Absolutely.
They want the drone to be the solution. Yes. However, they're not going to accept more risk, which shouldn't happen. But why avoid the easy differentiator that is afforded to you and just take these little extra steps with the extra signage? Heck, you can put a doggone barcode or QR code on signs, and if people are interested in what you're spraying, hit that QR code. If they feel like that they got some on them from somewhere, hit that QR code. It's little things like that the facility managers and the property managers, and if not them, the safety officers, if not them, corporate, those are the things that are going to like. And, you know, we've done big corporate locations where they really don't care.
No.
But we've also had them where they want you to take that little extra mile, that little extra step.
Yeah.
And when you get ready to, you know, put in your Avetta registration, which we started.
Yeah.
They're going to want to know these things. You're going to have to give your safety program to them, and you're going to have to show 3 years of a track record before they're going to let you get in and let you pay them $2,000 or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, as long as you don't have people out at job sites getting stung by a wasp and constantly getting SH in their eyes, then you should be okay.
Yeah, you're good.
You have any experience with either of those?
No, I've never never had that happen. Yeah.
So
especially not recently.
Going in, just a recap real quick of how to make safety visible in the sales process. And I think this kind of sums up what I'm getting at, because I struggled with trying to figure out how that would look. And then to the listener, I may be struggling to explain it right now, but a 1-page safety overview sent in with your proposal, not just talking about telling the customer what they need to do. You need to divert your foot traffic. You need to do this. You need to do that. Make this an entirely separate document. Then from your proposal. This is the ABC steer cleaning protocol. This is what we're going to do internally when we show up to your site. A site-specific pre-job checklist, which sounds so easy, but it would mean a world of difference. Airspace, remote ID, check noted in the file. But I guess it's something good to have. See, even right then, I'm going in my mind, well, that's not important to have in there. But you have to understand, I caught myself doing it right then. This is part of the sale. This is going to go into the facility manager's hands, and he's got someone he's got to send it to.
Exactly.
I mean, we've been to multiple locations where they will have a UAS rep appointed. One of the large local hospitals here, they have theirs. You have to send him your stuff. So why not go ahead and, instead of making the facility manager call you and get it,
have a package.
Have a package right there ready for them. Simple job hazard analysis for each property. I think that is good. Just letting the customer know from your standpoint. I mean, I would say you don't want to throw up red flags, give them any reason not to do it, but at least tell them how you will address the red flag. I think that's important. A spray zone map showing controlled areas, and I think this would be something easy to do and good to do.
It really would depend on the size of building.
Sure.
That would necessitate something like that. And what you were spraying. Like if we're cleaning windows, I'm not really gonna focus on my overspray a whole lot because it's majority just water and the fairest amount of
soap.
I
would say this is driven by the property. I think this becomes important when you know you're going to be in some heavy foot traffic.
Absolutely.
I mean, we go to industrial sites where
there's
on 3 sides of the building, you're not going to see anybody else.
No.
It's going to be you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And those, I don't necessarily think that's as important, but where you're going to be in high foot traffic, not even high, just moderate.
And that's also something, play that into your price. I mean, if there's going to be a bunch of high foot traffic, charge them for it.
If it's going to make you adapt your plan, which
absolutely.
You're going to have to.
Absolutely.
I mean, if it's not something that's easily controlled.
Yeah. We've gone as far, I've on jobs that if we were like this high traffic area, one main entrance, we've had a guy in his one job, he had an umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we had an umbrella, and when you took them and we got them through, you handed them a little card or like a little door hanger that they could grab onto. And so we went the extra mile, but it was, makes a difference.
I would say don't rely on, if they're, I'm saying this from experience, I'll give you a great example. A very large state institution here that we cleaned last year. You would think that with the authority this institution carries, there were 2 main entrances and exits. We simply requested on one day, keep it normal and we'll do the backside of the building.
Yeah.
We will let you know when we're getting ready to move. And there's going to come a point where we need to divert to the other door. Now, that's not the door people are always using, traditionally using. However, that's what we need to do. And we were told, okay. And they confirmed that morning, yep, we sent out the emails. Let me tell you something. Unless they have physically put up a barrier.
Yeah.
Or they have locked the door.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Mm-mm.
People don't care.
Caution tape can be ripped.
And I'm not talking about visitors to the building who, may listen, or may not listen. Employees.
Yeah.
That got the word.
They got the email.
Because they get halfway to that door they're used to going out. And now you tell them I got to walk 50 feet in another direction.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. They're going to come out. You can be spraying 12% SH and they're going to try to walk up under it and then wonder why they smell like a pool and wonder why they have road rash and wonder why they have white spots on their $8,000 dress.
Exactly. It's always $8,000.
These headaches can be avoided.
Absolutely.
And even if you take precaution, which I've had this done, matter of fact, same location, you can take all the precaution in the world. You can be covered every which way. And people will still break your perimeter. They'll get hurt. And it just becomes a headache, even if it's a 15-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Becomes a headache. And then you have to worry about if any onlooker saw anything. And it just can be a black eye on you. Go to the extreme to control the space in which you're working. And it's going to look good on you. I would say make the facility manager say, no, we can't do that. Make the fire marshal tell you, we can't close that door. Still, I think there are some good things that will come out of it. You'll see more sales. Of course, these are easy caution tape, cones, temporary signage. These are things we're required to have: a spotter, ground control.
You got to have that to be efficient. You can't. It is so not impossible, but difficult to fly a drone by yourself.
And here's something I don't want to seem deceitful, but there is something to be said about this when you're positioning yourself as a professional operation and you're going into a facility that is used to seeing professional operations. So you got two guys on the site. Does the pilot safety vest identify him as a pilot? A lot of folks, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not groundbreaking. A lot of guys have the vest on that says, remote pilot, flying, whatever. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Does your ground guy?
Yeah.
Does his vest say ground guy? Does it matter if he's not the ground guy? No. Does your safety guy?
Yeah.
Do you have a designated safety guy? Let's say you don't. You could easily get a guy, one of your guys, and say, all right, you're the designated safety guy. Have him identified on the job site. It makes you look better.
Yeah, it does.
Even if he's not the expert. Let's say everybody on site has the same level of safety knowledge. At least he is identified in the customer's eyes as the point man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he may not have to have the answer, which he doesn't. He's carrying the message.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hey, dude, the facility manager has a concern about this. It's just giving the facility manager a point person. That's it. Somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And if it's not the facility manager, which they probably know you, they're going to come talk to you. That person walking by that has a concern, or maybe they have something they want to tell you. Hey, man, I saw this. You may want to watch out for it. I don't know what it could be.
Yeah.
Anything. I saw this. You may want to watch out for it. That you're giving that person the visual of there's the person I need to go talk to in the operation.
Yeah.
Now, I would say your safety guy can be your observer as well. I think that kills two birds with one stone. Okay, SDS sheets, chemical handling notes when relevant, which you should have that already. Proof of insurance, Part 107 status, and any needed operational documents should have that. Pre-job photos, post-job photos, and short closeout summary. And I did it again. I'm sitting here reading these, and I'm like, yeah, you need to have these present. No, this is going back to the actual proposal. You are having copies of all that stuff already there. You're covering every basis person that he could ever dream of. And in that facility manager and property owner's eyes, you got your crap together.
Yeah.
And all these things that, they need to be done. We do. So there are just a couple. I'm like, oh man, that's easy. Yeah, we should do that. Okay. Use safety innovations, drone cleaners can add without overbuilding your branded drone cleaning in progress sign, which we got a couple of them. They got busted up. So I'm ordering new ones. And I learned that the little plastic triangle ones are great. Sometimes they blow over, especially when we get in the winds that we get. A lot of times they get knocked over. You're dragging a hose and you don't realize you knocked it over. Get some that can pop on a door. Like I was saying, little bubble stick, which we do on a lot of glass doors for some reason.
Yeah.
Pop it on the door. Easy peasy. Go put it on the doors outside of the zones. So you're giving everybody in the building
heads up.
Plenty of acknowledgement and heads up. This one, I don't know. Color coded zones for a spray zone, equipment zone, pedestrian zone. I want to see that applied a little more. It did make some sense to me, but maybe I'm a visual person with that. Laminated pre-flight and site safety checklist. Yeah, I could see.
Lucid makes us go through our own checklist on
Sure.
the deal, and I have at times attempted to throw the remote, and then I remember how expensive it is, so I don't throw the remote, but we do go through a pre-flight checklist.
Especially when you're sweating and
it's like the 14th flight of the day.
You haven't went and drank some water, or you need to go pee real bad, just trying to get another flight in, and you just can't hit that thing just right. Yeah. Yep. Very aware. QR code on proposal or sign linking to insurance. Safety overview and service explanation. I think that's a pretty good idea. You can even throw a QR code
on the truck. Yeah.
On the truck, you can throw the QR code on the proposal, where if you don't want to put all this stuff in one document and send it over, you can put it on the back of a proposal and say, click, scan this, click here, or click in the link to, if any of this interests you, you can go see what we do. A simple client-facing job plan with start time, controlled areas, and point of contact. I do think that is a big one. A lot of times we're dealing with customers that we know. And so we're like, the conversation happens. But I think that we miss the fact that that person is not able to relay that information to everybody. And you start to play the telephone game.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and Stop it before it becomes a problem. And then finally, a closeout report showing what was clean and any issues observed. This is something we have done before, but we have not made it a staple as far as any issues observed. And while it is hard, and not every job may have one, but I can think of times that we probably could have put that in there. And who knows, it may be an opportunity later on down the road for you, or you may know a contractor that would address that issue, and you can even, bridge that gap, Here's what to avoid. Do not overpromise that drones eliminate risk, because nothing eliminates risk.
No.
Nothing.
The drone could fall out of the air.
Yep.
It's not likely, but it could.
Yeah, and even if you have control of foot traffic, it doesn't mean that it doesn't fall on something.
Yeah.
I mean, you're never going to eliminate risk. Even yet again, take the drone out of the equation. There are other components of the operation that can fail and introduce a risk.
Yeah.
A hose busting. Now you got stuff spraying everywhere. I mean, there's always risk. Do not use fear-based sales language, which I don't think we do much of that, but any of that. But yeah, stay away from anything that is tacky. If it makes you feel icky, don't do it. Do not make safety look like decoration only. Another good point. Do not claim regulatory authority. That's a big word for somebody that served in the Marine Corps.
That's a big word. Spell regulatory.
We're on the air and you're going to do that. Do not claim regulatory authority you do not have. Oh boy. Yeah. Don't stolen valor this thing.
Yeah.
Don't go out there claiming you're OSHA Secret Service squirrel certified, and then next thing you know, you get your pump card pulled, and I would say you're done, because these people talk to each other.
Absolutely,
they talk. Matter of fact, if I were them and somebody did something like that, I'm making a point to talk to some people. I'm gonna call people and let them know how dumb you are. So I mean,
they're gonna be petty.
Right now, we have a job in a state that requires an OSHA license.
Yeah, OSHA verification.
Well, you haven't started it yet. Your link will be getting mailed to you after this. I started it yesterday. I hate doing standardized tests. I hate having to sit still.
Yeah.
Do all that. Here's the thing. If you're going to play with the big boys, you got to do this big boy stuff. I used to be the worst about it. I just didn't want to do it. Heck, we have a decent paying job in another state. The old me would have been like, I'll just stay here and not have to do it and try to pick up 3 smaller jobs and make up for it,
Yeah.
Just do it. Just do it. I guess it changed when I'm married and had kids. Now it's like, just sit down and do it and go ahead. Because like you and I were discussing, while it is amazing to me that we have not been pushed on this before, and I saw why when I was researching the regulations, there are only like 7 states that make you have to have this particular one. However, we live in a state that doesn't.
Yeah.
The chances are most of the people listening to this will live in a state that doesn't.
Yeah.
I would say that's a marketable thing to have if
Absolutely.
you do. And if it's between you and all things are equal, you and another company, but you have this and they don't. I mean, if I'm that decision maker and I can't make a difference, then I'm probably going to go with the person that's got the OSHA certification.
Yeah.
Because that covers my butt. That's a headache I don't have.
Anything you can offer that make you sound safer or more experienced.
Well, and I would go further. Not just make you sound safer. You're making that facility manager safer.
Absolutely.
I mean, he is safer
covering his end
to his boss now
because
he
made
the
company I got. They got all this.
Yes. So his job is more secure, because his job only becomes unsecure whenever he hires a person that doesn't have that regulation and catastrophe happens.
Yeah. Which on like residential and stuff like that, it's not going to really apply, but any like commercial work, large
government,
bids,
certainly.
Absolutely.
Which is what we're having to deal with.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, make it easy for them to hire you.
Yep.
That's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Because if you have that OSHA certification, you go in and you have a and let's say it was due to negligence. What the facility manager is looking at is, how can I defend myself?
Yeah.
Well, he had to do this, this, and this to come get this job, and he's got his OSHA. So it was a good decision by me.
Yeah.
I can't help he's a knucklehead and screwed up, but you gave that facility guy something to defend himself with. And that is all they're looking for, without headaches. Now, you can't go in and, ask them to get a Porta-John delivered to your location and constantly be having other issues. So anyhow, that almost wrapped up. Yep, here we go.
Pretty much it.
Before we wrap up, if you're serious about getting into drone cleaning, or you're already trying to build a better system around it, we put together a couple resources that are going to help. Jarod, I don't know if you know this or not. I'm a published author.
Really?
And I went ahead and dropped my mixtape.
Did you?
So if you go to Gumroad, which is a site where people buy digital products, you can pick up levels to what we're calling the master guide on drone cleaning master guide, however you want to say it. You Google it, it'll come up, drone cleaning master guide. You can go to a Gumroad, and we're working on getting the Shopify up right now. You download it, and I think, which I'm going to be proven otherwise, I can tell you, I don't know if there are things that aren't covered. It is pretty detailed, so much so that there are things that I put in there that we don't even have as a company, but now we're going to start utilizing. You can literally, with some of this stuff, copy, paste, and it is now your safety guide. You don't have to deal with it. You can use it with customers, whatever. You go to Gumroad and get the link. Also, the book is on Amazon. You prefer the more traditional format. Either way, both, it's a practical path to drone cleaning. It kind of takes you from step 0 to step 100, whether you're a contractor, drone operator, exterior maintenance company, or someone trying to understand where this, industry's going, which seems to be up, no pun intended.
Yeah.
So we'll put the link in the show notes, drone cleaning master guide, and you can find it on Gumroad, and the book on Amazon. We'll have to get you an affiliate link.
Yeah.
I'll get you an autographed copy.
Yeah, I need it autographed. I need it signed.
You put it by the toilet.
Yeah.
You can read.
I can put it in a glass case, like the autograph.
Shadow box?
Yeah, shadow box, like the case, I'll hold on to it.
You put a picture of me in it?
Yeah, I'll give it to my kids 40 years down the road. I can sell it at auction.
Gosh, kids these days, you don't have no respect. It sounds like Rodney Dangerfield. All right, so guys, just this episode, I really think, I believe this is an important conversation to have, because it is something that is such a huge benefit that we provide.
Yeah.
And you will lose the advantage of that benefit if you do not frame your message properly.
Right.
Now, of course, there's some action that goes behind it. It can't be empty. Yeah. But, I had a background in politics, and you can be a great speaker, and you can be a very intelligent person. But you can be saying the same exact thing that your opponent is saying, same exact thing. But if you don't frame yours better than he does, just the words you say and in the way in which you say it,
the way you present it,
you will lose. And not saying that you're not getting any business and that what you do is not working for you right now. That's why I think this was so important, because yes, your way can be working, but what if you can unlock that extra bit? What if that job you didn't get? What if this would have been what pushed you over the edge? Now, which we could say that for a ton of different things. Yeah. But, I think it's something to consider.
At the end of the day, the drone 5 years from now, it's still going to be cool, but it's not going to be as cool as it is right now. At the 5 years from now, you're still going to be a good drone pilot. You're still going to be a good washer. But the thing that sets you apart is your job prep, how you approach the customer, what they get, and it's safety. When you give the customer more tools in their hands to defend themselves, it makes them feel like they've got the upper hand. If they've got the upper hand, you're more likely to get the bid.
I think you're right. And I think that sums it up. I do think drones could become cooler.
Yeah.
If we figure out a way how to Bluetooth the water.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
Have to worry about hoses that manage themselves.
Yeah.
It'd be incredible. Anyhow, is that all for you?
That's all.
How long did we? 40. I see. I thought I was going to be able to say, man, season 2, when we kicked off with a 2-hour premiere.
Nope.
49, 50 minutes. All right, folks. I am Ric McCluskey. That's Jarod Dillon of Flyby Shine. This has been a drone cleaning show. We are landing this thing. We'll see you next time.